G'day everyone and welcome to episode 71. We are moving right along with the build with our first little show area inside of the Wild West Falls. This part of the building, obviously in real life, has a turntable system and it's pretty basic in itself. It's designed just to be a little section where the ride gets turned around and then sent backwards. The theming is sort of set as if maybe they're about to blow it up. I know there's a show screen ride and pretty much as basic as you can get for that area. But obviously with our ride, we can't do a turntable system unless obviously I just did this ride as just something you can't get on. So that's what we established in a couple episodes ago, was I really wanted this ride to be something that you guys will get a chance to download and ride. And then obviously if you download the park, to check out yourselves of it in its full potential. So with this part here, I had a basic idea in my head. So you'll see, this is why this video is so long, I did a lot of different ideas for this area. I didn't really know where to take it. I wanted to do some sort of cave system, as what I imagined for this area is when you enter it, there will be sound effects of dripping water inside of a cave. It'll be dark, it'll be sort of claustrophobic. You'll have this section here where the track's sort of broken away and it's sending it off to a different part of the ride. I don't know how I'm going to get that across to guests, as this ride doesn't really have a PA system playing. It's more you're just on the ride for the ride. So I had to work really hard to try and establish that this whole mountain is very dangerous, that cave-ins are something that are very frequent in this area. So you can see that this ride area section was cut off due to something like that collapsing. So when I started designing this part of the ride, I really realized that the sight lines are terrible in this. The ride vehicle itself sits really low inside of that valley, so everything has to be built above that line pretty much. There's nothing that a guest can really look over it. As when I started building this, I wanted to have it in like there's a deep cave, there's water dripping, maybe you could see water down the bottom and then the reflections would look up. But it wasn't until I actually sat on the ride and went around that a lot of it you couldn't see anything. So a lot of the theming was kind of just wasted on just you looking at it. So you'll see in the background that I struggled with what I was going to do with this area. So I knew I had to set my parameters of, I normally like to go in and I build a wall system of, okay, this is as far as you go. This is as far as you can move stuff, where you can go outside of. I need to be able to support the building. I'll also be doing future planning on trying to release this park as something that can just be downloaded from the workshop by itself. You won't have to download this with the whole park. That is my goal at the end of this, is to get it down to 4,000 pieces, but as it's shaping up, we're already at about 700 with everything that's in the park so far. The only problem with rides like this is just the terrain tool. So it's pretty much, you'll be able to set it up, but then you'll have to do all this stuff yourself, which really sucks when you think about it. So you'll see me do a couple of different designs here. I wanted to have obviously these, what's this rock formation called? Sorry, I'm just having a mind blank of it just dripping water when you enter the cave, and it's just a little bit eerie. It's a bit dark. It's only lit by a couple of lights. Obviously that part there is designed for if the ride needed to be evacuated, and I'm really trying to incorporate that into the ride of it being an actual area where, oh, okay, if the ride got stuck here, how would they get guests off? If the ride got stuck here, how would they evacuate the building, essentially? So I knew I had to try to add pressure of the room collapsing. ended up being very hard. So you see me here, this is me experimenting with, I seen a picture online of a cave and it had a beam of sunlight coming in, and then obviously because of the rain and because of the weather, nature started to grow along that path that the sunlight was obviously in. So I obviously tried to do that in here. You'll see me end up deleting it all and going back. You probably would have seen the thumbnail of the video. I just couldn't get the right mixture of what I wanted to do, and it was a hard area to design because I needed it to work in the nighttime and in the daytime. So one thing I try to really work hard on is, if say you downloaded this for yourself, if you just got on the ride during the day, it has to look great. But if you're one of the people that likes it in the dark, likes to say, all right, I'm turning the lights off, I'm going to ride this ride, and it has to look great in the night as well. So it was really hard trying to find that balance. But then obviously you'll see there with my ceiling pieces to not encroach on that area that we're going to have to build up there. So in my mind, I established that, okay, you're getting on this log fume, you're going throughout all of this ride, you make your way up to the mountain, and as you get in there, you're seeing signs of collapse. So obviously this part here is all collapsed. The mine shaft above it is slowly starting to degrade. This is probably my favorite part here. I love caves with the blue lights underneath. So that's what I really wanted to get inside of this area. It's all about just trying to make it but feel massive in there when it's sort of just a turntable room in real life. I know a lot of people are going to sit there and be a little bit annoyed that I'm not just doing what's in the park, but a lot of the comments are people saying just to go for it, and I'm really trying to do something unique. As I said in episode 70, sorry. I really want to approach this ride as if they were remodeling the ride themselves, and they said, hey, we can't edit the building, we can't do anything like that, we just need to add more theming, more pizzazz, or whatever you want to call it. So this part here, I wanted to have it where it was like you were meant to go down this path, but obviously the cave-in caused the building itself to collapse so much that the water's just being diverted somewhere else. So you'll see later on where when I start building things like this, I have pretty much an idea of what things will fit. I was like, sweet, that rock looks like it's hitting the fence and it's come down. I was going to have smoke effects coming out of it, and it sort of fitted well with what I was trying to get across. But then obviously when I get it up in there, you'll see me just flip it around completely, because I didn't like how it was pointing out like that. Like it's this room is collapsing, not that room. So I knew I had to delete it, make it look like the rocks in this room that you're in is collapsing. So obviously that leads up to our finale of that will be the mountain itself collapsing behind you. So you'll pretty much be outrunning the mountain itself collapsing from people's not stupidity, because it's not really stupidity, it's more just yeah, I'm still fleshing the story out, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. So this part here, I really hated using the red rock again. Like it has moments where it grows on me when it sits in the sun and it's lit really well, but then it also has moments where it's like, am I doing too much of this red rock? Because it's so massive. So I knew I had to have these sort of buildings. Actually, this is a good point here. So you'll see me start to work out here my sight lines. So that's why I'll always go back to where I have two main points of interest that I'm really trying to take care of, and that is when the guests first get into this area. That's site number one. I have to wow them and impress them, have them going crazy for it at that moment. Also, when we get to the corner and you can see the old tunnel, I really worked hard on trying to get that so that they're my 2 money shots. So this part here that I'm working on is the backstage area. I wanted to have the emergency exit near the second drop, because I feel like if it was going to fail anywhere, it would fail there where they would have to come and get riders off. Obviously I'm going to have to build a section there that, actually, now that I think of it, it would be really good for that part to match up with the lift hill for the big drop, so that if you were doing an evacuation, they would exit through here, then go onto that catwalk. That might be something we look into in future episodes. So I am going away on a trip soon, so I'm going to probably be pre-recording a lot of this stuff, trying to get a lot of stuff out. So don't take this at final value. This is pretty much just me sitting here and roughing it. This isn't me being able to sit there and look at it for hours and try to edit it and get it down. Like I will go over this part again and probably change a couple of things. I know now that sitting back, I don't like that blue door. I don't like the light being there. This wall here is very bare. I'm trying to figure something out to do across there. I've also got to go back along and get rid of a lot of the bigger rocks, because the bigger rocks themselves stick out too much. I did try to stay within my borders, but as I said before, it is only just a guide for me. And then here, this is me trying to really sell that things are not, like, as beautiful as the mountain is on the outside, things are not going well on the inside. It is barely being held together. It's creaking, it's cracking. The more like the guests would ride around, the more it would creak, and that's all I'm picturing, is just sitting in this part and hearing the drops of the water in the cave, but then just the timber sound of the like, that's what I imagine of, like, oh, it'd feel uneasy. So obviously putting a couple of rocks and that in there. I should say on a side note, the response from episode 70 has been insane. I don't think one of my videos has gotten that many views in that short amount of time ever. So thank you very much for being excited for this ride. Like, a lot of people are really keen to see what I pull off, and it is a little bit of pressure, but I tend to act like a diamond in these moments, and just stuff comes out. Like I came back and forth to this cave. I didn't know what I was going to do, and then it was just literally reading everyone's comments that I was like, sweet, let's go. Cracked a can of mother, sat down, put my music on, and this is just a result of it. So thank you very much for watching. This is pretty much just me changing up some of the rides and stuff like that. Check out one of these videos, and I'll see you Friday for the next one. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys.